Welcome my friends. Thank you for joining me for this edition, full body Yogalates. We're going to get right to it. So if you're joining me, step to your mat. As always, very dynamic stretching we do in these flows. Modify as needed. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. We're all built differently. We all have our different aches, ailments, orthopedic issues. Work around those. The goal is to be feeling really good at the end of this. Bare feet is encouraged, as always. Make sure you got plenty of space around you today. Do a little bit of a stronger flow today. I'm going to turn the music up just a hair. We're going to get rocking. Take things slow. Move with your breath. Remember, fluid, precise movements. With your breath, you keep that mind-body connection as strong as you can through our whole flow. Take a nice wide stance. Have your left toes pointing out. We're going to start in Warrior One. Make sure you feel really good. Pushing through your back right heel with that back right foot pivoted. So left toes are pointing straight out to the side. Your back heel is pivoted, so that front left heel is pointing right to the inside of that back right foot. And make sure you're really strong in the legs and you feel comfortable and confident to move through your hips, keeping those knees straight when we need to. Turn over your lead front left leg. Take a nice big breath in. Bring the arms overhead. We're pushing through that back heel. We're reaching overhead as high as you can. We're going to bend that front left knee and let the hips drop down nice and slow, as little or as much as you want. We're keeping that back right leg nice and straight. We're dropping the hips down. That knee should not push past your toes or too far over your ankle. 3 breaths. And our Warrior One. Stand tall, abs tight, chest up, shoulders back. As we drop the hips down, we're pulling the shoulders back, we're drawing the abs in, we're reaching higher and higher. 2 breaths. Nice stretch, back of that front hip, reaching those arms up, asking the chest and lats to start stretching. 1 more breath. We're going to push that front left leg straight, modified triangle fold. Take the hands down your lead left leg, fold into your knees slowly. Find that sticking point. We always take 3 breaths past it. Strong in the legs. Big warrior sequence with some triangles to follow. Make sure you feel really strong in your legs as we go through all the bendy, twisty, foldy stuff. That's Yogalates terminology, bendy, twisty, foldy. 2 breaths. Nice hamstring stretch. We're relaxing down deeper and deeper with every exhale, always working through those sticking points. 1 more breath to triangle. Keep your left hand at the lowest point on your leg you can, or if you are all the way to the floor with me, stay on the floor. Bring the right arm up, palm forward. Reach behind you, flatten that back out, open the chest. 3 breaths in our traditional full triangle pose. Look at all those nice triangles we're making. Still really stretching those left hamstrings well. We're getting some nice rotation through the spine, low back. Always trying to sink deeper. And again, if you need to modify, you're up here, that's absolutely fine. You keep trying to trace down. When you feel ready and able, things start to relax and lengthen. Work through those sticky points. 1 more breath. We're going to go to a modified revolving reverse triangle. That sounds real fancy. It's not. You're going to bend that front left knee so you can comfortably take your top right hand to the floor. And then you're going to rotate and bring that left arm up and reach behind you for 3 breaths. Flatten that back out. Good stretch on the back outer side of that left hip, maybe even down the side of that left thigh as you twist. 2 breaths, pushing that left shoulder flatter and flatter against that imaginary wall behind you. 1 more breath. Take the left hand back down to join your right. Walk them under your chest. Turn those left toes straight ahead to join your right toes. Wide-legged, downward facing dog. Strong in the feet and legs. Wide stance, toes forward. 90% of your weight is on your feet and legs. We're comfortably stretching the arms out as far as you can, diving the head and chest down. Pull the shoulder blades back. Turn that music up a little bit. Let's get the rhythm going. 2 breaths. Stretching the chest up, back, hamstrings, lengthening back and spine. Relax your body down. Reach out through the arms. Keep diving, pressing those feet back. 1 more breath. Great. Walk the hands under your chest. Slowly unroll the spine up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Turn your right toes out to the side for warrior 1. So again, back left foot. We're pressing through that back heel and the foot is pivoted. The toes are turned in a bit. Right toes are straight out to the side. We turn over that right lead leg. Make sure you feel strong in your stance. Take a big breath in, reach the arms overhead, and drop the hips down. Do not let the knee go over the ankle. Definitely not over the toes. So we're not pushing forward. We're coming straight down as we push through that back left heel, reaching to the sky, abs tight, chest tall, strong in the legs. Warrior, 2 breaths. Abs tight. Last breath, modified triangle fold. Extend the front right knee straight. Take the hands down the leg as low as you feel confident to. Find that sticking point. Remember, nothing past an 8 of moderate discomfort. Once you find your sticking point for those hamstrings, 3 breaths into it. Nice, long, deep belly breaths. Remember, 20 to 30 seconds minimum of holding a strain before you get any real benefit. 2 breaths, folding into your triangle before we go to traditional triangle, and then our modified reverse triangle or revolving triangle. 1 more breath, folding into the knee. Wherever your right hand is at its lowest point, if you're not on the floor, maybe you're up here, that's fine, it stays there. We bring the left arm up, and then you try to slide down if you're not all the way to the floor. 3 breaths. Opening the chest, flattening the back on that imaginary wall behind you. If you feel confident, turn your head, look up. Your left arm that's reaching to the sky. Make sure your palm is forward. Make sure your arms are somewhat in line. And of course, treat each side of the body differently. Nobody's perfectly symmetrical. Last breath in our triangle. Bend that front right knee so you can comfortably take your left hand down to the floor. Make sure you feel strong in your legs before you revolve and bring the right arm up for modified reverse triangle. Revolve into that triangle. 3 breaths. Let's give it 1 or 2 more. Nice deep belly breaths. Again, getting a nice stretch on the outer backside of that right hip, getting good rotation in the back and spine. Last breath. Bring the right hand down to join your left. Walk them under your chest. Turn your right toes forward. Stay in your wide, strong stance for wide-legged, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. We're always trying to get a little deeper. Sink those heels into the floor. Dive the head down. Reach out through the arms and fingers. Keeping the weight and effort on the legs. Holding down on those exhales more and more. 2 breaths. We're going to take it down to the floor after this. Big, strong sequence to kick things off today. Of course, we always go up and down. It's a roller coaster ride, these Yogalates flows. Last breath. Walk the hands back before you unroll the spine up. We always articulate the spine up, 1 vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, step to one back edge of your mat, wherever you can see me best. Remember, we're up and down through these. Put your monitor somewhere, position yourself where you can see me as easily as possible as we move around. Take the fingers to the floor. Slow, precision, control. We're walking the hands out to full prone plank. We're letting the knees come down softly as the head chest comes up. Press the top of the feet flat. High cobra. High cobra hurts your low back. Not uncommon. Come down to your elbows like so. Slowly lift your head and chest up. Pull the shoulders back as you press through the forearms. Scoot back. Low cobra or join me in high. Draw your abs tight and squeeze your backside in. Pull the shoulders back. Let your torso kind of sink down as you keep the shoulders up, pulled back, head tall, opening the chest, drawing the abs tight, squeezing the glutes. Last breath. Child's pose. Sink back onto your feet. Bring the feet together, knees out wide. Get your hips back onto your toes and heels as deep as you can. Stretch your arms out. Play around with child's pose. It's going to be different for everybody. I want you to take a position that allows you to get your hips as deep as you can onto your feet. And that allows you to sink down and fold into your mat as deep as you can. 3 breaths in our child's pose. Long, deep belly breaths. Get lots of air in. Doing a lot of hip stretches today, hip and low back focus flow today. We're going to sit up tall in hero pose and go right into forward low lunge for our next sequence. Focusing around the hips and low back. Step your left foot forward. Big angle at the knee. Knee is in line with the hip and toes. Head, chest tall, shoulders back. Lean the hips forward for our traditional forward low lunge hip flexor stretch. We're drawing the abs in. We're squeezing the glutes on that back right leg. Really getting those hip flexors to relax, to lengthen. We get better, deeper stretches. 3 breaths. We're going to add in a twist. Get up into that TFL, hip flexor abductor. We do that by taking a breath in, bring the right arm overhead. So we're getting this right side of our body as long as we can, from the top of the knee all the way up into the abdomen. Now we bend at the waist, bend at the hips to the left, and then turn, twist, look over your left shoulder without dropping your chest. Abs tight, squeeze the glutes, bend to the left, staying tall, twist, reach, look over the left shoulder. 2 breaths. Big, deep hip flexor stretch. 1 more breath. Good. Come back to the center. Take your right hand to the floor, somewhere under your chest shoulder where you feel good and strong. I'm going to caution you on this next stretch. It's a big one. Take it slow. Start by just pulling your back right heel up towards your butt and then lifting the chest a bit. If this is giving you a great stretch, you stay here. If you feel confident, you're going to turn, reach back, grab your right ankle with your left hand. You're going to pull your heel towards your butt to fully lengthen those quads. Then we're going to push the hips forward and lift the head and chest. 3 breaths. Take it step by step. Remember, nothing past an 8 of moderate discomfort, never pain. 2 breaths. One more breath. Release that back right foot down if you have it up. Take both hands under the chest. Draw your left leg back. Sink into your recovery child's pose position to restore, recharge. We continue to take that energy all the way back down throughout our flows. 2 breaths. Staying mindful, moving and staying with our breath. Keep that mind-body connection as strong as you can. One more breath. Sit up tall, hero pose. Step the left foot forward, or excuse me, the right leg forward. Get a really good stretch on that right side. Right leg forward, opposite side we just did. Step 1, head chest up, shoulders back, big angle at the knee. Lean into your hip flexor forward low lunge pose. Let's take a couple of breaths. Let's give it time before we take it to the next step. Abs tight, squeezing the left glutes. Muscles behind the left hip of that back left leg. We're squeezing them in. We're pulling the abs in. We're lifting the chest, pulling the shoulders back. Take a breath in if you want to join me for the TFL twist. Left arm high as you can. You keep that right hand on your leg. If you didn't catch on to that last time, you're going to bend to the right this time. That's going to take you even further into the stretch. If you want to take it to the last step, you twist, reach, look over that right shoulder as you lean the hips forward, as you pull the shoulders back, keep the chest tall. 2 breaths. Let's give it one more breath, guys. It's a big one. Then we go to that real big quad stretch. Take the left hand down to the floor under your chest. First step for this one is to just pull the heel towards your butt, and maybe you stay here, that's fine. Remember, work within your range of motion, your comfort level, whatever kind of flow you want today. If you want to reach back, grab the ankle with the right hand, pull it to your butt. Now we lean the hips, lift the chest. That will take you deeper and deeper into that quad stretch. 3 breaths, whatever position is working for you today. Very hip girdle focused flow today. 2 breaths. Remember, we work through sticking points on our exhales. Makes all the difference. 1 more breath. Release your left foot down. If you have it up, take both hands under the chest shoulders. Bring your back left knee off the floor so you're in a full low lunge. Step the right leg back so you're in full prone plank. Push the heels back towards the floor as you dive the head. Double heel press. 3 breaths. So I'm pushing through my arms and I'm pressing the heels back into the floor as I dive my head and chest down. So we get a great stretch behind the ankles, Achilles tendons, into the soleus, up into the calf complex, maybe even the hamstring attachments right below the knee. 2 breaths. We're going to go to pigeon after this. Straighten those arms out, dive down and press. 1 more breath. Flatten your back out. Very slowly cross your right leg under your body like so for pigeon. Let your hips sink down and slide that left leg back as straight as you can. Don't go to cheater pigeon. We call this cheater pigeon. You stay center, square, over your leg. There should be a little gap here, and then you slide back. You can hinge forward and fold to your mat if you have that ability level. Maybe you just stay here if you're getting that great stretch already, back of that right hip. 3 breaths, wherever you're at. with your pigeon. Piriformis, glutes, all those big muscles in the back of the hip. Again, try to relax your body as much as you can. Take all the tension, all the tonus out everywhere so you can focus on your stretch. Don't fight it. You get deeper, better stretches if you relax and don't fight it. Last breath. If you're folded down, bring your hands under your shoulders, sit up tall. Put your weight on your hands, bring your back left knee off the floor, step the right leg back, dive the head down for double heel press. 3 breaths. See if we can get those heels a little closer to the floor, if we can dive the head down a little deeper. Nice straight arms. Stick the butt up in the air and drive the heels back. 2 breaths. Going pigeon, left leg after this. Opposite side you just did. 1 more breath. Flatten your back out nice and slow. Abs tight. Remember, controlled, precise movements. Cross the left leg under for pigeon. Slide your right leg back. Let your hips drop down and take you into the stretch as much or as little as you like. Last step, if you're all the way down and you got that back right leg straight, we hinge forward and fold into the mat. 3 breaths. We're going to get off the knees after this. Take it all the way back down, laying flat on your mat. Let's give this pigeon 2 more breaths. Always trying to flatten out more, always trying to slide that right leg back straighter and straighter without rolling to your side. Trying to get that leg foot pulled up higher underneath your chest, stomach. Last breath. All right, bring yourself up. Go to cheater pigeon, roll to your side so you can comfortably swing your legs out in front of you. Have a seat on your butt. Woo. My hips are feeling good. Okay, quick sprinkler stretch, I call it. I think it has a formal name. I don't know it. Bring your right leg up straight like so. Take your left hand and hook it right to the outside of your right calf or ankle as low as you can grab down. Right leg up. Left hand is hooking, grabbing the outside of that right leg. Sit up as tall as you can. Take your right hand, twist, and reach behind you. Let your head follow your arm. As we twist to the right and reach behind you, you're going to feel a nice counter stretch. You're going to have to kind of pull that right leg over to the left. We got a great stretch. All the IT band fascia and that big bicep femoris hamstring muscle, especially where it attaches right down below the knee. Big problem area, especially for the guys. 2 breaths. If you're real tight there, you're going to have to be lower or have the knee bent a little bit. Find a position that works for you where you're getting a good stretch. 1 more breath. Good. Come to the center. Let the right leg come down. Bring the left leg up. Right to the other side. Sit up tall. Nice big breath in on your exhale. Twist into the sprinkler. Find that sticking point. 3 breaths pass. Two breaths. 1 more breath. All right, come back to the center. Let that left leg come down. Make sure you have room behind you. Roll yourself back or go to your side if your back doesn't like this. 1 vertebrae at a time if you're doing a roll back. Soon as you get to your mat, good morning stretch. I love to do this good morning stretch once we have the opportunity to get flat. Get as long and as flat as you can. Reach back through your fingers, reach down through your toes. You're going to be 2 inches taller by the end of this. 2 more breaths. Keep getting longer and flatter. Try to not push your hips up or arch your back. as you're reaching. Stay as flat as you can. Make those chest and lat muscles stretch. One more breath. Hug the knees into your chest. Push your chest into your knees. Wrap the arms around. Squeeze the abs. Tuck your chin. Look at your belly button. Turn yourself in the smallest little ball you can make for 3 breaths. We're going to start winding down here shortly. We're going to do one more nice gentle stretch after this, and then we'll go into our final cool down. Last breath. Okay, let your feet drop down, knees bent. Let me take my 1980s mic pack off here. Stack your feet, knees with them bent, roll to your right side. So just get comfortable. Roll to your right side. Bring your knees up high enough towards your body that you can comfortably take that bottom right hand, anchor down that top left leg. So we call this a clamshell position. We're going to keep the legs stacked, taking the bottom right hands, and we're pushing, anchoring these knees in place. Don't let them move. Take a breath in, bring that left arm up. Top left arm, you're going to twist and reach behind you on your exhale, without letting your top left knee or either of your knees lift. We are actively pushing those knees and legs down. We're anchoring them as we twist and reach behind you. Let your head follow. See if you can get your left shoulder blade flat on the floor behind you. Make sure your palm is up with that left arm that you're twisting, reaching back with. 3 breaths. Getting a great stretch in the back of the left hip into the left side of the lower back, as well as the left pec. Those chest muscles that tie in front of the shoulder. 2 breaths. One more breath, trying to get your left shoulder blade flat, twisting, reaching behind you, anchoring those knees down. We're going to go right to the other side. Swivel your legs up, roll to your left side. Take your left hand, anchor your knees down firmly. Take a breath in, bring the right arm up with the palm forward. And on your exhale, twist and reach behind you, keeping those knees perfectly stacked and anchored down to the floor. 3 breaths. We are nearing the end of our flow today. Start taking the energy down. We'll do a quick final little cool down after this and say sayonara. Again, relax your body, turn your head as you twist and reach back, look down that right arm. Just give it one more breath. And return back to the center. Bring your knees up so you're nice and flat. Hug the knees into your chest firmly so your tailbone lifts. Keep your head down. Massage your back and spine side to side for 3 of the longest, deepest belly breaths you can. All the way in. Every bit of air you can get in. And squeeze every bit of that air back out. Squeezing the abs in, hugging the knees firmly, and add in the cradle, a little rock side to side. Massage the back and spine. 2 more big, long, deep belly breaths. One more big, long, deep belly breath. Extend your legs down straight, keeping the feet a little bit off the floor if you can, or take them all the way to the floor. Stretch the arms back. Start waking your body back up. One nice big breath in our good morning stretch. Feet up or down. Let your feet come down if you have them up. When you're ready, sit up or roll up any way you like. And I appreciate you guys joining me for this Yogalates flow. I hope you feel better. And I hope to see you again soon.